When most people lose a lot of money trading, they take some time off, rethink their strategies and maybe give it another go. But then there are some special traders. Most of them reside on the WallStreetBets subreddit, and one such trader dipped his toes into options and started losing money almost immediately. But he quickly recognized that his problem was in fact lack of capital. So he just poured more and more money into his account, and now he still believes he can gamble his way out of his gambling hole. It is my honor to present to you a trader who goes by the name of Lord Keeney. He lost $35,000 in 3 months and $8,000 in just a day, but he still believes he's going to get out of this. He decided to explore options in May or June with about $250, made a few tens of dollars, and once he saw the potential he dropped $2,500 into his brokerage and surprisingly doubled it within 2 weeks. His portfolio was at 6k, but he wasn't satisfied with the dollar amount, so he did the only thing natural and evaporated the profits in the next few days. However, he wasn't done. In the beginning of the second month he dropped 20 grand in his brokerage after realizing he needs more capital to make a significant amount in this game. At this point he kinda got the gist of options, and majority of his setups and predictions were hits. He even started focusing on psychology, as he knew from the start that this was a lot of people's kryptonite. So he binged Mark Douglas and other trading psychology videos. Slowly but surely he became profitable again on his portfolio with Microsoft swings when they announced Copilot 365 pricing. Your biggest loss is always right after your biggest win. Now, for some reason he knew he was about to snap these gains into nothingness, but didn't know what to do about it. He damn near lost it all on earnings play. Literally all his earnings picks flopped hard. Netflix, Tesla, it almost felt targeted, like the market was waiting on his next move. From the day that he lost more than 10 bands in Microsoft earnings, his account saw more ads than a Manchester United jersey. He's talking back-to-back red days. His account went from 30 grand to 10k in less than 2 weeks, so he started trading 0-day sale expiry options to get his money back quickly. No chance. The whole of August was red. The reversals were straight up ungodly. He was losing 50% of his portfolio with 6k in buying power. He wanted to experience what a tilt was sooner than later, but he didn't know it would last this long and demolish 95% of his portfolio. That 10k turned into $800 in the blink of an eye. His mental health was in the trenches, but he knew this was part of the process. His portfolio was in shambles, so he had to recoup with 10 bands and decided to play Nvidia straddles as his last card with earnings, and what do you know, it also flopped. Fast forward to September, he made consistent profits by scalping. Little profits, but profits regardless. His mentality was and still is break even is better than a red day. Last month he had only 4 red days and ended the month green, where each day was either break even or profit. His main goal was to not have any red days rather than make money. However, the first week of October was just not his week. Stress and frustration got to him. On Monday his devices were lagging and he missed out on his play of the day. Then he rushed into something else and ended up having to scramble to break even, when it should have been an easy green day. Slightly worse on Tuesday, he caught the top of the market's insane dump for puts, but his order was rejected for the first time ever and he missed out. He barely slept for Wednesday, and the same thing for Monday happened and he had to break even. Thursday was just the perfect setup for what would happen on Friday. He made 1k in the first 2 hours of market open and he started feeling that gains high. Y'all know what he's talking about. As he was journaling his his daily profit loss, he saw he could even out 1k gain to be a specific number like $1,100 instead of $1,080 or whatever he was about to journal. So he quickly entered SPY 0 day sale expiry options to make 20 bucks. Now guess what happened? 2 hours later the 1k profit went down to $250. He usually trades weekly, so he only ever uses 0 day sale expiry options to make back money from a losing trade. So he ended the day with one of the weirdest feelings he's ever felt. He still felt high from the 1k win, but also a cloud of shock and disbelief that he gave $800 back, trying to make 20 bucks. So naturally on Friday he wasted absolutely no time to revenge trade. He entered Tesla and Nvidia puts as early as he could and decided to not only double down but more than quadruple down, just seeing the money casually float away like a canoe to the horizon. But he was too uneasy to help himself. His hope was that the last time he sold a losing trade 2 weeks ago, it went deep in the money and he would have turned $400 to 15k. But all 3 of his strategies expired worthless. Even though it's hard to grip any handle of hope, he feels like he has to face the music at this point. His previous routine was scalping aggressively with a super tight stop loss of less than 1%. Even with his tight stop losses, risking 60% of his portfolio for a 3% gain was simply not sustainable. What he needs to do now is to be more selective and trade less and still keep his stop loss. He refuses to let the market defeat him. He's down by more than $30,000, but he still has 2.5k to make that back. His biggest hurdle is ignoring his previous losses and treating his account like a brand new one. Making $300 a day is hard to appreciate when you know you're down by more than 30k, which is why he might even do monthly updates or just post when he makes some million bucks. So he's basically just saying that he's going to gamble his way out of a gambling hole. And because you've made it this far, I have 2 bonus insane trades for you. With the first one by NoMo 9 to 5 autopilot DRV. He's up by 111% or $202,693.46. Looking at his chart, he also started losing money, but he was somehow able to pick himself back up. Now it looks like he firstly made a lot of money on Microsoft and then he started buying a ton of SMCI, which he sold for a nice profit. And in contrast to the first trader, over time he trained himself to take most emotions out of trading. His goal is to just have a trade idea to execute on. Mastering emotions and personal pain thresholds during swings is very important. One tool for him is he almost exclusively buys shares that he's done a lot of research on. So in his mind he knows he can stomach the loss because over time it will go up as shares don't have expired. Sometimes he'll go better part of the week without opening the app if he's in a trade that went against him, instead of staring at the loss and getting emotional about it. And the same with gains. He doesn't dwell on them because he knows how easily they can be taken from you in this game. He wasn't always that way though and has had some very dark, humbling and informative moments, as he was down by nearly 100k by early May, 2 months after starting to trade stonks, and was physically weak for a few days, thinking about the loss. And last but not least, we have an insane gain by CI Money Movers, who has risen 4k to 45k in less than 25 hours, which means he essentially multiplied his account 10 times. And he did that with LMT calls and QQQ puts. More specifically, he put 4k into QQQ puts with a striking price at $364 and an expiration date on October the 12th, and got that up to 16k. Then he bought LMT calls with a striking price at $430 and an expiration date on October the 13th to get to 27k. And his last trade was QQQ puts with a striking price at $370 and an expiration date on October the 16th. And if you want to see how this trader turned 2.1k into $242,000 in just a month, click on the video that just popped up. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe, and if you have any questions or recommendations, leave them in comments down below, and thanks for watching.